Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Happy Sephora anniversary sale for all those who celebrate. Today's video, I am doing a full face of makeup using every single product I think is worth it in the Sephora anniversary sale. Makeup wise, I'm going to do a separate one for like skincare, hair care, etc. But if you love this face, if you love the way this makeup turned out, please keep watching because I'm going to show you guys exactly how I created this makeup look and what products I use, and all of them are going to be in the Sephora anniversary sale. So let's get into it. First, we're going in with the Glowy Makeup Serum by Laneige. This stuff is so good. It is so hydrating. It says hydrating and long-lasting makeup wear. This is actually a fresh new bottle for me. I've been using it basically since it came out. It is super hydrating. Really gives like a nice radiant glow to the skin, not like oily, just like nice radiance. And then I usually use this as my primer. It duals as a primer as well as a glowy serum, and it helps just kind of keep my skin hydrated while I'm wearing a full face of makeup and give it that long lasting radiance I need all throughout the day. Next product you're going to want to use if you want that glow from within look. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I have used this for so long that there's literally no writing on the bottle anymore. But if you don't believe me, this is shade 2.5 Fair. That is like the only writing that is left on the bottle, that and the Charlotte Tilbury stamp at the top. I have used this so much, and I like to just focus this right on my cheeks. I'm not gonna lie to you though, I love Charlotte Tilbury, and there are some things Charlotte Tilbury cannot be duped on. This is not one of them. The e.l.f. version of this product is also so good. So if you are on a tight budget and you are budgeting what you spent on the Sephora sale, I'm going to be honest, hold off on this. Get the makeup serum instead and buy the e.l.f. version of this. There are other Charlotte Tilbury products I'm going to talk about later on that cannot be duped. I have not found a good dupe for, that are just my tried and true Charlotte Tilbury products. This one, I love you. I do. I love you, Charlotte Tilbury, but this one and the e.l.f. one are pretty much identical. And like I said, if you are on a tight budget, just opt for the e.l.f. one instead. Okay, now I like to do a contour before I go in with my foundation. There are two tried and true contour products. I normally almost always have a drugstore version for whatever high-end version I am using. That's just kind of how I am. I mix and match my luxury and high-end makeup with my drugstore makeup. Contour doesn't seem to be one of those categories. So I have two products I want to talk to you guys about. This is the Makeup by Mario Sculpting Stick. This is really good. I'm not going to lie. This probably took over my love for the Fenty contour stick. However, I haven't used it in a hot minute, so don't quote me on that. But this formula really reminds me of the Dibs formula, which if you never use Dibs, it's super blendable, like crazy how blendable it is. And that is how this product is. So I love that. It comes with a little brush at the back end too. Do I ever use it? No. Do I think it's needed? Probably not. But it's there if you want it. The other product I absolutely love for contouring is the Patrick Ta for Face, specifically in the shade She Sculpted. And I love, this is not the first Patrick Ta product we're going to be talking about today, but I love that it is the dual cream and powder formulas. That is so good, especially for my specific technique for contour. Okay, for today, I'm going to go in with the Makeup by Mario on my full face kind of contour, and then I will use the She Sculpted for my nose. For my face contour, I like to place the contour stick on the high points of my cheekbones, right on the top corners of my forehead, and then outline my jawline and bring it down in a V down the neck. For the nose contour, I follow the bridge of my nose, and then I bring it up to my brow bone to really give it a natural defined look. And whatever is left on the brush, I will carry it back down the bridge of the nose and around the peak of the nose. Okay, next is when I go into foundation. I could not choose one. I'm stuck between two. One I have used for probably the last almost 10 years, or probably coming up on 10 years. And then the other one is a fairly new foundation within the last like 3 to 5 years. I think it's been on the market, but it is the YSL All Hours foundation. You cannot go wrong using this foundation unless your wrongness is in the fact that you can't match your foundation, which is fair because, you know, same. So it's okay. And then House Labs. Phenomenal foundation. This one really gives a nice, beautiful, radiant glow. For the sake of, back to what I said about us not being able to match our foundations, I am too guilty of this. I'm going to go in with the YSL one just because it matches my skin tone a little bit more than the House Labs. The House Labs is really my summer shade, and if I put this on right now, it would not go well. And then on the opposite side, the YSL one is a tad bit light for me. So I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. bronzing drops. I am not like a huge stan on these. I get the concept. I think they work fine. But do I think you need to take out somebody in the mall to obtain this product? No. Okay? No. So, but for the sake of it, we're just going to use it today to kind of warm up the skin and so you guys can kind of see. I know it's been but like repeatedly spoken about on social media, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But one thing that is not repeatedly talked about on the internet that should be is the YSL All Hours Foundation. So good. So good. Like I said, I've used it for probably over the last 10 years. I'm also going to quickly spot conceal this little blemish I've got going on, and we'll talk about the concealer later. Okay, so the way I like to put my foundation on is I put a little on the back of my hand, and then I use my pointer finger to dab into the foundation, and then I just polka dot it all over my face. And then I still have a little left over on the back of my hand, and I'm going to go in with these bronzing drops, just kind of like the same technique. I don't put a ton on the forehead. And then blending out with a Morphe M439 brush. And then the way I blend in this foundation is I start by really dabbing it into the skin, and then I will kind of like blend it in a circular motion. And whatever is left, I go back in and just pick up on my brush and carry it down the neck. Okay, now that we have our base on, I like to go in with my cream blush and then concealer. So we're going to talk about multiple blushes today, but the cream blush, the creme de la creme of what is going to end up being this makeup look is the Patrick Ta For Face in the shade She's Giving. This is a lot. I know it's a lot, but trust the process. When I first got it, I was like, I want to be bold. I want to try out a new blush. And thank the Lords above I did, because she is stunning. Absolutely stunning. And so I use a separate brush for my cream application and my powder application. I know Patrick Ta doesn't really do that. It still worries me. So this is the way I do it. And I just dab into it. And I like to do it before I do my concealer because I feel like it gives so much more of a seamless, natural look. And then I go back and top it off with the powder again to kind of amplify that seamless, natural finish. I am not afraid to use a lot of product at this step. Whatever's left on the brush, I'm going to go on the corners of my forehead to carry that blush up and out and kind of give a very natural, like sun-kissed glow look. And then also on the top of my nose, just a very subtle hint of pink on the forehead and nose. So now I will go in with my concealer and usually eyeshadow primer. There are two techniques I like to use for eyeshadow primer. One is I will carry out my concealer from under my eye up onto my eyelid. And the other one is if you don't wear a lot of concealer, you're going to want to use the eyeshadow primer potion from Urban Decay. This is a phenomenal, definitely have been using this for over 10 years because I started using it in high school and without getting sick, that was over 10 years ago, unfortunately. So, love this product. I don't think I will use any other eyeshadow primer. This is their original formula, but I also like the shade Eden. However, today I'm just going to do my concealer technique. So I am obsessed with the Hourglass Vanish concealers. I use the shade Silk and then the shade Cream. The last time I went, Cream was completely sold out, so I had to get a mini, and then I'm almost out of this, so I will be repurchasing these two shades with the sale, so please don't sell them out before I get to them first. Thank you. With the darker shade, I like to keep that concentrated on lifting the eye up and then the base for my eyeshadow. The lighter shade, I like to go on the inner corner and then in the middle in between both the shades, and notice how I'm not applying right up at the eyelash line because we're going to blend the product up and we don't want it to be cakey. We want it to be blended and seamless and kind of melt into the skin. And so if you bump that product right up to that lower eyelash line, you're going to have a lot of buildup of product, and we don't want that. To blend out my concealer, I let it sit under my eye for about 1 minute to 2 minutes. Don't let it dry out completely, but let it get a little tacky. And I use the Sigma 4D HD brush, which is this pyramid shaped brush. If you are not using this, what are you doing? It is so good. The way that this brush is angled just gets so up and close to that lower lash line, inner corners. It is just shaped perfectly for any eye concealing purposes. As you can see from, how I'm blending it out here, it just knows how to get into those nooks and crannies and blend everything out and make it so smooth. So you really don't have to worry about anything settling into those fine lines as long as you set it with powder. And for today, I'm using the Huda Beauty powder in the shade Peach Pie. Any shade is phenomenal. I'm using Peach Pie. I'm going to try and get the cherry one during the sale because I like the pinkier undertone. And then I start with my loose powder. After my loose powder is in and I've put it all on my face, I go in with a pressed powder. Now, I used to do this in the opposite routine, press powder first and then loose powder. And I had a makeup artist in New York City who did runway shows and things like that tell me to do the loose first and then the pressed. So I've been trying out that technique. Honestly, I think I like my technique a little better where I go in with press first and then loose. But we're still experimenting, so I'll let you guys know. Pressed powder. This is the only one I use. This is the only one you need. There is no dupe for it. Unfortunately, it is worth every single penny, okay? And as you can see, I have multiple in my hand right now. I have 2 minis because I never leave the house without it. Never, ever leave the house without this powder. I am not kidding, okay? I have the minis. You know how everyone's obsessed with those like little mini things? I even found a mini poof, okay? So when I'm out, I have my mini poof, and I feel like I need a touch up, a boop boop, a boop boop. You're done. Fits into any bag. I have 2 of them because that is how obsessed I am with this product. And then I have the full size for when I'm sitting here doing my makeup. I also have 2 of these. This one has clearly been used a lot. I have a fairly newer one somewhere in this house. I just don't know where because, like I said, literally always have this powder on me. If I were held at gunpoint and they were like, give me everything you have, and I forgot my purse at home, I would still have this on me, okay? So, that is how passionate I am about this product. Moving on. I go back in with the same poof and pick up all the product, except I don't wipe it on the back of my hand. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but when I pick up the loose powder, I dab it on the back of my hand to really kind of fine tune the powder, and then it helps really press and bleed into the skin and or bleed isn't the right word, and just melt into the skin better. I don't know why. I just started doing that technique and I really like it. So highly recommend. I don't do that with pressed powder. Pressed powder, I just go in and I dab it all up and then I set again. And the reason why I do this is because the loose powder is setting the makeup. It is making sure it is not going into any fine lines or anything like that. And you're probably good after that. However, if you're going a very long day, your powder, much like your blush, is going to be the first to go. The Charlotte Tilbury powder minimizes your pores so much. I promise you will never, ever, ever skip this step again once you start. When I apply this pressed powder, I go back in under my eye, on the bridge of my nose, because that's inevitably where my sunglasses are going to sit. And so that'll help not leave sunglass marks. And then any big pore zone I have, I will go in with this powder to help minimize. So like right now, I've been having an issue with my pores right here under my nostrils above my lip. I'm going to go in there. My chin, my T-zone, anywhere that gets oily, we're going to go in there for extra security. So now after all that's done, I jump back into my contour, the Patchwork Tall, and I take the powder. And I literally just go over the same spots that I contoured with the cream contour, back over with the powder contour, just for added definition and to make sure that that contour stays in place all day. Okay, so this is the part in my routine where I kind of start to bounce back and forth between eyes and face, right? So Sephora has millions and millions of eyeshadow palettes on its website, right? But there are some brands that just stick out among the rest that feel like cashmere for your eyeballs. And one in particular that I will always recommend to everybody. It is a fabulous gift. Whenever I have friends come over and they play in my makeup or my sisters, whatever, and I see that they love the product, which inevitably almost everyone always does, I gift them one of these palettes because it is a higher priced eyeshadow palette. There are different price points, and with those different price points, you get a different amount of eyeshadows, as with almost any brand, right? But these just blend so beautifully. They're so soft. If you have sensitive eyelids, I really don't think you'll have an issue with these because of how it feels on the eyelid. Like, it is truly cashmere to your eyelids. And that is the Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes. Truly, truly, truly cashmere for your eyelids. My tried and true favorite palette by her is the Glam palette. This is also really, really good if you are a makeup artist. It has beautiful warm tones, but also pinky neutral tones as well that a lot of brides tend to opt for. And if you are looking for a gift for your fellow beauty lover for the holiday season, I highly recommend this one. This one is just slightly out of your budget. I also recommend her minis, which are phenomenal and great for travel. This is the Natasha Denona 5 eyeshadow palette in the shade, I guess she's just calling this one the mini glam palette, but I love those. Another great mention for someone who maybe enjoys doing their makeup but might not do shimmer on the eyes or get a little crazy with the eyes and just kind of likes defining the eyes is the Makeup by Mario palette in the Masters Mattes. This is so good for almost anyone, really. So it's just all neutral shades, right? For all skin tones. It's a really great base palette to work with. So if you know someone who maybe isn't into the more glammier eyes, not that Natasha Denona is crazy, she's still smoky but natural, I would say. This one is all matte. So if you know someone doesn't like glitter on their eyes, this is a great option as well. Dipping into the Natasha Denona palette, I'm going to use this shade right here, Crease. This reason why this palette I recommend to so many people, on top of the fact that it feels like cashmere on your eyes, it also quite literally tells you where to put the eyeshadow. So this shade right here, it says crease. There is no name. It's telling you, put it in your crease. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, after we go in this crease shade, I'm going to go in with this shade that says smoke. And guess what we're going to do with that? We're going to smoke out our outer corner. Shock. I'm going to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury pressed powder and put that on my eyelid. Gorgina. Now we're going to do brows. I'm going to do these really quick and easy. Literally only brow products I use. This is the Goof Proof Brow Pencil in the shade 2.5. And then the 24-Hour Brow Setter. This combo, brows ain't going anywhere, honey. Nowhere. Okay, so I just fill in with little strokes to kind of just fill in the gaps. I have like fluffy eyebrows, but they're also like a little sparse at the same time. And then to make sure that doesn't go anywhere all day, I use the gel. The other thing I like about this gel is it has 2 different brush stroke lengths. So one side is a little bit longer for the bushier part of my brows, which is usually right here. And then on the tail end, I like to use the thinner side. And if I accidentally put too much product, I'll also go back in with the thinner side. Okay, brows are done. We've curled my lashes. Now let's go on to eyeliner. I've been asked before on TikTok, I think somebody asked me how I got my eyeliner so perfect. I have always been a eyeliner brush user. Like, I have several. This doesn't even hold literally a flame to how many I have. I used to be like gel pod eyeliner brush. Now I use the Huda Beauty Creamy Kohl eyeliner. When I tell you, this is the most incredible formula you will ever use. Let me just show you. It's like goof proof or foolproof. Goof proof. It is foolproof because I literally use my nails to make my wing. Hey, let me just show you. So I literally just take my nail and get the product where I want it and then just move it around with my nail. Like, look at that. Okay, we winging today. I didn't mean to do that. But like, do you see that? I literally just used my nail and this pencil. It's so good. And then I like my inner corner to be smudged out a little, so I just use my nail. And you have to move rather quickly after applying it because you got about a minute before it just like becomes seal proof on your eyes, and then it's the hardest eyeshadow or eyeliner to get off. Like, look at that. Perfect wing every time. In the beginning of the year, I made a makeup tutorial on YouTube using all the 5-star top best rated products in each category from Sephora. And that is how I found the best mascara of all time. So I went to each category and I hit rate, sort by top rated, and whatever the first product to pop up was, and I compared it to the second product, and whichever one had the most amount of views and obviously highest rating, I compared the ratio and I went with that product. I did a full face using all of them. There were some misses, but most of them, I would say 95% of all the products I used in that video were a hit. Mascara being one of them. This is the Benefit Fan Fest mascara. I was a tried and true Better Than Sex mascara girly. And then I got my hands on Fan Fest. And holy cow, am I glad that I did. Because this is the best mascara. I get asked all the time if I have false lashes. And I'm always like, no, it's quite literally just the best mascara in the world. So yeah. And I will be repurchasing because I'm actually running really, really low. Like, look at that difference. Look at that difference. It is so good. And I am not like an eyelash girly. If there's some people on the internet that put on mascara and they could use literally dollar store mascara, it doesn't matter what it is, what it's made of, they could quite literally use mud and their eyelashes would look phenomenal because they have phenomenal eyelashes. I am not one of those girlies, okay? So I rely on products like this and like, wow. Now for my lower lash line, I am going to go back in with my Natasha Denona palette. And I'm going to take that original crease shade, the first shade we used, and I am just going to put it up against my lower lash line. Just giving a nice smoked out lower lash line to really tie this whole eye makeup look together. I feel like when I don't have anything on my lower lash line, it feels really top heavy, so I like to round out the eye look by smoking out my lower lash line. Okay, and then we're going to use this inner corner highlight to do our brow bone and inner corner highlight. Like, look at how beautiful that is. So stunning. Okay, our eyes are pretty much done. I'm going to go in with some bronzer. I like to use the C Technique application. So I will get the bronzer all over my brush. And what I do is I do one swipe on my cheekbone and then I do a 3. I said C Technique, but I meant 3 Technique. So notice how I'm keeping the bronzer just on the highest points of my face. And then I do take it down, whatever is left on the brush, on my neck. Okay, and now we're going to round out blush, which we still have. Like, if this is good for you, this is good for you. I'm a blush girly, so we're going to add more. Going back in with the Patrick Ta She's Giving, I'm going to take the powdered side. This is pigmented. You have been warned. And I'm just going to focus it on the highest point of my cheek and down to the apple of my cheek. Whatever is left on my brush, I will go over the highest points of my forehead and a little on my nose. And just blend that out. And then the creme de la creme, the cherry on top of the cake. Rare Beauty in the shade Happy. This is just so complimentary to this Patrick Ta shade. Like, this combo formula is, I die for it. I quite literally die for it. I don't know what those accents are. Okay. Picking up a little bit on a smaller brush. I use All Real Techniques for my blush brushes. I don't know why. They slap the most, you know? And this product, I'm going to focus on the highest point of my cheekbone, and I am not going to bring it down to the apples of my cheek. Like, look at how complimentary those two shades are. I cannot. Like, I need them to do a collab because they are meant for each other. And then a little on my nose. And then I will blend it up to the bridge with my finger. We be blushing. Okay? If this is not your style, don't leave hate in the comments. Because we love blush. Thank you so much. Rounding it out with setting spray. I'm not going to kill you and tire you because I know you've already heard about the Patrick Star, right? Is this Patrick Star? One size? Who is this? Patrick Star, right? Did I make that up? Is that not the person in SpongeBob?
I'm Patrick. No, wait, I'm Patrick.
I'm horrible at names, y'all. Like, literally horrible. Anyway, the One Size setting primer spray. Wow, I'm really bad at this today. The One Size mattifying waterproof setting spray. This is phenomenal. It's really great. But I know you guys have heard a ton about it. So I'm going to put you on something else as well that I think deserves just as much love. And that is the Liss Beauty Natural Finish. I do wish it had like that hairspray applicator. It does not. But this is blurring mattifying setting spray. And it is so good. It also fails to mention that it feels glorious on the skin. And although it may be blurring and mattifying, it actually feels really moisturizing. Like, it does not dry my skin out at all. And this is another one of those products that I discovered from my Sephora top rated products, full face of top rated products beauty YouTube tutorial that I did here on YouTube. That was a weird way of phrasing that, but I really truly love this product. Because this is not a hairspray type application, it is really a spritzy spray. I use my handheld fan to kind of dry it out, and I always make sure to hold at least like 6 to 8 inches away from my face. It's still a very, very fine mist. I just prefer the hairspray application. And always make sure to do the neck. Like, it just feels so good on the skin. Okay. We are almost there, I promise. We're going to talk about lips now. Let's talk about the best lip products you should buy during the Sephora sale. I'm not going to bore you and talk about the Makeup Forever lip liner. We all know this is phenomenal. This is in the shade Forever Walnut. Will I be buying more during the Sephora sale? Yes, I will. I have a few other shades I'd like to get. However, no one talks about these enough. No one talks about these enough. This is the Buxom lip liner. It is plumping, but it's not a burning plump, okay? At least not to me. Specifically in the shade, if you see, I have 2 here. In the shade Hush Hush Henna. Oh my god, this color is perfection. It is perfection. It is so, so good. I literally have 2 in my hand right now, and I have another one in my purse. I'm going to put this one on for you guys today. I also have the shade High Def Honey. We have Dangerous Dolly. And then I have Rich Rose. But Hush Hush Henna takes the cake for me. She is phenomenal. I want to talk about what is left in this little bin right here. This is not all of my lip products. But these are my tried and true that I think are worth your money and worth the spend during the Sephora sale. Hush Hush Henna, I usually mix with my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lipstick. You can't go wrong with any of her lipstick shades. It is probably the best lipstick, like true lipstick formula on Sephora's website. Everything in here is glossy, okay? These House Labs, I have another one. You know I have another one. I've talked about it before. These House Labs lip glazes are phenomenal. This is the shade Fig. The other one I have is Guava. I love Guava, and I love pairing Guava with Hush Hush Henna. Do not let a purple lip gloss scare you. It is stunning. So stunning. Next, also tried and true, but I feel like not enough people talk about it enough anymore. They did when it first came out, and then it fell off. We need to bring it back. Fenty Beauty. This is the cream shade Fenty Glow Gloss Bomb Cream. I don't really know what the real name is for it. There's like a lot of words I just said. But this right here, amazing. Such a juicy, juicy lip. Okay, next. If you like something simple that you can just throw in your bag and have, and it like clickety-clacks and you twist it and it comes up, the Hourglass, well, it doesn't say what these are called, but the Hourglass in the shade Slip and Trace. They look like this. They're like a gloss, but also feel like a butter on your lip at the same time. I don't know how they do it. Phenomenal. Another one. Not going to spend too much time on this because everyone and their mother knows about them. Summer Fridays. Lip Butter Balm. So good. This is not all that I have. I have other ones throughout the house and in purses. I just don't know where they are right now, but these are phenomenal. This is the shade Vanilla, and this is the shade Vanilla Beige. Wow, how basic of me. Okay. Next, these lip glosses. These are the best lip glosses. If you love a plumping lip gloss, if you love a true lip gloss, maybe it's a little sticky, but not uncomfortably sticky, okay? It's the right amount of sticky. You know what I'm talking about. Buxom Plumping Lip Glosses. I love them so much. And you know I love something when I buy the full size and the mini size because I always have to have it with me, okay? Here are all my minis. These are not all my full sized. I love these. Honorable mention to the shade Mudslide. Dolly, I think Dolly has a holiday kit out right now. Honorable mention to the shade Peach Martini? Peach Daiquiri. Peach Daiquiri. Those are my top 3 favorites. Dolly, Mudslide, Peach Daiquiri. Can't go wrong. Cannot go wrong. Okay, let's do the lips. Honestly, this is pretty much how I wear this lip combo every day. As I do the lip liner, I take chapstick. My favorite is the Burt's Bees original formula. And then I smear. And then if it hasn't blended out enough, like this is kind of beautiful already to me, the back of these lip liners comes with like this little blending brush. And I will just go in the corners and blend any spots that I feel like need to be blended some more. But like, tell me that is not the most beautiful shade you have ever seen. The most beautiful shade. Now I'm going to go in with a lip gloss just so you guys can see. I haven't used Peach Daiquiri in a really long time, but honestly, if I wanted a really, really pinky look, Mudslide and the Buxom Hush Hush Henna combo, I die. It is so stunning, but we're going to do Peach Daiquiri today because I don't want the lips to overtake the cheeks. I'm just going to focus this on the center of my lips instead of all over. Like, you can't tell me that's not perfect. It's like so good. It's so good. Okay, that is it for today's YouTube video of all the things I would recommend spending your money on at the Sephora anniversary sale, which starts today. Happy shopping. Happy anniversary sale to anyone who celebrates, and I can't wait to see what you guys get, what you're going to purchase from this haul that I did today, what your favorite products were. Maybe you learned a new technique. Whatever it is, whatever you loved, let me know down below, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Hit that little bell notification so you know whenever I post a video, and I will see you guys in the next video. I need to go do my hair and get ready for the rest of my day. Bye!